Welcome back to the Mowing in the Dark podcast. I am your host, Aaron Sutter. Thank you for tuning in to another episode. Guys, Happy New Year to all of you. I'm so glad that we made it through 2022 and now we're heading into 2023. But it's with a little bit of trepidation, right? Because we have this looming what do you want to call it? Recession. That's, we're already in a recession, but you get what I'm saying. Gas prices are pretty good right now, but that could all change. It seems like it can change on a dime these days. So it's a little iffy, right? So I would just want to talk a little bit about what I have planned for the new year, some of my goals, some of the things I want to accomplish. And so if you guys want to hear that or listen to that, ride along with me here. But first, let's jump into the show notes and then we'll jump right back into this. All right, guys, we are back. So with that 12-month contract that you just heard about in the little ad or whatever, I know on the video you didn't hear it. And the reason you didn't hear it on the video is because there's music behind it, and music on YouTube is copyrighted a lot of times, and so my videos get demonetized if I use the ad. So that's why you hear the ad and then I talk a little bit about it, okay? So the 12-month contract, that is something that I want to use more in my business this year. It's really nice, guys, to be able to have that year-round income. So the 12-month contract, you can put everything on there from lawn mowing, flower bed maintenance, mulch. You can add mulch in there. You can do snow removal. If you're up north, you can have snow removal. If not, you don't have to use that portion of the contract. It's everything that you would ever do, shrub trimming, things like that. Everything that you could do within reason, obviously. This is a 100% editable contract, so you can add things in. And then it's all set up, so all you have to do is do a little figuring with some numbers, and it's all right there for you. And you can make year-round income. And so I really like it. In fact, I just sent out my billing this morning, or yesterday actually, for my 12-month contracts. They're still going on. I start my 12-month contracts in March. So I get paid through the winter, through the Christmas season. I don't have to worry about people dropping me at Christmas time because they're started in March, and so they end in February. So it works really well. I really encourage you guys to check out these 12-month contracts. They're at mowinginthedarkpodcast.com. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. What I want to say is that it's my goal to get another 5 of my clients on to the 12-month contract this year. It just works so well. So that's one of my major goals this year, is to get at least 5 more of my clients, existing clients, on the 12-month contract. It's fairly easy. It's an easy sell because it spreads out those payments. So the monthly payment is a little less throughout the summer, but then it's the same throughout the whole year. So your customers can budget on it. It's great for people that are on Social Security, if they're older and they have to have somebody that mows their grass. This works really well for those people because it spreads out that payment and makes it a little smaller during the month. So because it's spread out over 12 months. And so you're not making any less. It's just spread out. And so I would encourage you to check it out, because that's what I'm going to be focusing on this year, is working on those 12-month contracts. Another thing that I've talked about here before, and something that I'm still focused on, I still want to pursue it, is doing tractor work. So purchasing a tractor, doing brush hogging, maybe driveway renovations, things like that. I really think driveway renovations could be a huge seller here in Michigan because we have the freeze-thaw thing going on, and we get a lot of potholes in gravel driveways. Now, I do have some of these services listed on my website. No interest as of yet, other than one person that's already an existing client. So it just depends, but I'm hoping that service will some interest will be generated in that. I do realize that to generate more interest, I need to have some posts on social media of me actually doing some work with the equipment. I understand that. Right now I just have stock photos on my website of tractors doing work and things like that. Same tractor equipment, things that the particular tractor and equipment that I want to buy. But that's all I have right now on the website. So I know that I need to get some more stuff going there for that, but without purchasing the equipment, that's just the way it is. So I'm hoping to get more into that side of the work because I'm getting older. The mowing is just, it's tough. It really is. I'm not excited about it. I'm not thrilled about it at all. So it just is what it is. I don't like it anymore. I mean, it's okay. It's not like it's terrible. I just don't care to do it anymore. So it is what it is. But tractor work is more exciting to me because it's a lot less labor. It's not labor intense. You're just sitting in a tractor doing the work. Essentially, there might be a little labor involved, but you get what I'm saying. And it's high dollar work. So that's something that I'm really interested in right now this year. So with that tractor work, I'm going to have to purchase another trailer. So it's a big investment for me to look at getting into tractor work, things like that. So I'm really, I'm trepidatious, if that's even a word, about really taking the jump into the tractor work. I know my friend Cameron Duncan with Mowing or Lawn Care Life in Missouri, I believe is what his channels are called. Look him up. Great channel, great content, good guy. He uses a Ventrac machine, and he's been really encouraging me to look at that. But it's like a Ventrac is like twice the amount of money almost as a tractor. And then the implements for the Ventrac are like 10 grand on top of that. So it's a lot of money. It's a huge investment for a Ventrac. So I'm not sure I want to go that way. It would be awesome. It would be awesome to go that route, but it's really expensive. So, I mean, the initial getting into a Ventrac would cost me as much as my truck cost me, which is a lot of money. So I'm just very hesitant to look at the Ventrac right now. But that's an area of work that I want to get into because I think it could be more profitable. There's more things that you can expand out into, like forestry mulching, things like that. Now, I get it. You can't really forestry mulch with a tractor very well, nor can you forestry mulch with a Ventrac very well. You could get into like a skid steer with a forestry mulcher. That would be another way to go. So there's a whole nother business genre that we could go into if I were to get into bigger equipment. So I'm just thinking about that for the longevity of my business and of my body. As you guys know, as you've heard me talk about here on the podcast, I've been going to the gym this winter, just trying to build my body up. Surprisingly, I was surprised. I was quite weak when I started going to the gym. I felt weak. I just was not where I used to be. I used to think that, I'm getting all this exercise when I'm out mowing. You're really not. You're not walking as much as you think as much as you think you are. You're not burning as many calories as you think you are. So it's important to get physical exercise outside of mowing. Okay. It really is. Now, some of you guys, like the Mike Andes with Augusta Lawn Care, like they use push mowers primarily. So some of you guys use push mowers and you are burning a lot of calories in that sense. So you don't necessarily need to go out and do extra work to keep your body in shape. But for me, I do need to do more work to keep my body in shape. I'm over 40 now, so it's important for me to go to the gym, lift some heavy things, pick heavy things up and put them down, all that jazz, and get some cardio in as well. So I'm looking at my schedule and seeing how I can continue going to the gym throughout the year. It might not be possible, but that's another thing, another goal of mine is to continue with my physical exercise throughout the year, because I do feel stronger right now. Even though I haven't lost weight at all, I'm attempting to lose weight. And so I need to lose weight. And so it's important for me to be in the gym and exercising and moving my body, whether it's in the summer or in the winter. I have to do it. It's very important. So that's another goal of mine this year, is to just stay active and in the gym or exercising, whether it's going on walks or whatever. If it's in the summer, I can walk outside and I don't necessarily have to go to the gym, but it is preferred to go to the gym because you're lifting heavy things. You're staving off some osteoporosis stuff. I know men don't get that as much as women, but still, you want to keep that muscle mass up. So it just is what it is. So that's something that I'm stretching for, is to stay in the gym and just stay active. So that's another thing that I'm shooting for this year. Guys, I would love to know if you guys would email me or whatever. Let me know what some of your goals are. You could very well inspire me to look at my goal list and say, all right, I need to add that goal in, because I don't know what I don't know, and you might have ideas that I don't have. I might have ideas that you don't have. So let me know. Send me an email at lansinglawnservice@gmail.com, or hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. I would love to hear from you. Besides that, guys, subscribe to this podcast. I would love to get more listeners, more followers. Hopefully I can help you. Hopefully this is good content for you. And just help inspire you to keep going. Because I'm telling you guys, this year was really rough on me. Or last year, rather, because we're in a new year. Last year was really rough on me. And I think a lot of it had to do just because of my physical unfitness. I think I was just tired all the time. And it just wasn't good. And so last winter, I spent a lot of time reading. I love to read. I love books. I love to read. I love to learn. And so I spent a lot of time reading in the wintertime, but it really came back and bit me in the butt in the summer because I wasn't active at all last winter. And so I've got to stay active. I'm not reading as much as I would like to, but I'm staying active. And so that's a big deal to me. You gotta have a good balance. You can't have a lot of one thing and not very much of the other. It's got to be a good balance. So some more goals that I'm trying to hit this year is to cut out a day of my mowing route. Now this is scary for me because I'm banking on hopefully getting into the tractor work and filling that day back up with tractor work. But I really need to shorten my mowing route, because right now I'm working like 9 to 10 hours a day mowing, Monday through Thursday, and then Friday is like a 6-hour day. And I really need to cut that back so that Fridays are open for whatever. It could be mulch, it could be shrub trimming, it could be extra jobs. That's what I'm looking to do with that extra day. So I'm really looking to cut out that day, to have 4 full days, like really full, dense days of work, and to shrink those routes down. And so I'm looking at my customer list right now and seeing who I can let go. I love all my customers. They're all really good customers, but it's come down to now where they're located. If they're just a little outside of an area where there's a lot of clients, but I've got to drive an extra 5 minutes, I've got to cut that out. And so it's tough because I love all of my clients. They're great people. They're respectful. They're respectful of me. They're respectful of my company. They don't talk down to me. They're really good people. And it just sucks. It just really stinks because I do need to open up a day. So whether that's hiring somebody, which I am looking at, I'm really looking at that because I'd rather keep all these clients together and hire somebody, pay a little bit of money, even if it's just part-time, so that I can free up Friday for extra jobs. So I'm really looking at the hiring aspect. I'm scared. I'm just going to be honest. I'm scared. That's why I haven't done it, is because I'm scared. I'm scared of all the different things you got to think about when you hire somebody, like all the things you got to pay for when you hire someone, whether that's workman's comp, whether that's all different kinds of stuff. And so that's stuff I don't know about. So I need to learn about it, and I need to take action. And so I've got an Indeed employer account now. So I'm going to be working on an ad for this spring so that I can hire somebody. And it's scary. It's scary for me. I don't know why exactly. I love helping people, so I would love to employ someone. It's just really, really scary for me, and I'm not sure why, but it just is. And so I would covet your prayers on that. If you guys are praying people, I would covet your prayers on that because I need to get that going. So that's another thing, is hiring an employee this coming year, just part-time probably. My son is probably going to be working with me in the summer, maybe 2 or 3 days a week. It'll be up to him, at least 2, but maybe 3 if he wants to jump up to 3. It just depends. So, and I'll be paying him, but I can actually pay him under the table, sort of. What it is I pay myself, and then we just transfer money to his account. So taxes are still being paid on the money. It's just, and I get it, I could pay him tax-free up to $1,200 or whatever if he was an employee, but he's only 13. So I don't know if I have to talk to my CPA, see what I can do about that. But it doesn't really matter. Last year my CPA said, yeah, I would just pay him under the table. There's nothing wrong with that as a family member. And so that's what I did. So we'll just see how that works out. I'm really hoping to bring on that part-time employee, even if it's for just a couple months in the spring and then in the fall when my son Marcus can't work with me because he's doing school. So it just depends. I'm looking forward to all kinds of different things this year. So another thing that I have a goal is to read 1 book a month. So 12 books this year, whether that's Audible or a physical book. All right. So, and these do not have to be business books by any means. I'm trying to be widely read. So I think it's 4 basic categories that I read in. And the 4th is kind of a throwaway. That's just an in-betweener. And that's fiction. I'm not a huge fiction fan, but so it's business, history, faith, and fiction. Those are the 4 categories that I read in. So I try to do a history book, and then a faith book, and then a business book, and if I feel like it, a fiction book. But typically those three genres are what I like to stay in. So that's another goal of mine, is to read at least 12 books this year. I'll probably get way over that with Audible, but it just depends. So I would encourage you guys, even if you're not a reader, to utilize the tools that you have at hand. Whether it's you can download an app from your library and get Audible audiobooks that way for free. You can do that, or you can use Audible. I use Audible. You get 1 free book a month for, I think it's $14.95 a month or something like that. That's not bad at all, guys, because an audiobook typically is like $19.99. So you're getting a discount on that free book. So and then you can purchase credits, like 3 credits for 20 something. They usually have a deal or something like that. So it's really good to do, guys. I encourage you to listen to Audible while you're out working. It's a great way to get a good education. Even if you have an education already, you got to be filling your mind with good stuff. So whether that's business, whether that's faith, whether that's fiction, I don't really care, as long as you're getting that good information in your brain and not just sitting out there listening to music all day long, but you're actually getting really good, solid information that grows your brain. And helps you to think, gets you thinking. It's not just entertainment. Music is just entertainment. It's not a real deep thinking type of thing. And so, nor is video or things like that. Now, podcasts are good too. If you want to listen to podcasts, you can listen to podcasts. There's nothing against podcasts. I've learned a lot from podcasts. So that's something you could do as well. But there's just something about learning from a book that is different. It's basically got one theme all the way through, and it takes discipline to get through a book. And so reading helps you discipline yourself as well. It's kind of just creating that discipline in your life. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is create that discipline in my life. Same thing with the gym, creating discipline in my life. Doesn't matter how I feel, doesn't matter what's going on. It's a discipline. I go and I do it on this day or on these days every week. I go and do it. It doesn't matter how I feel. It doesn't matter if I'm motivated. Motivation wanes. It's a feeling. Motivation is a feeling. You don't need motivation. You need discipline to get through the times that you're going to be coming up on. So, and we're in this recession right now. We don't know how bad it's going to be. Some people say it's going to be really bad. Others say it's not going to be very bad. But you're going to need discipline to get through this time in history. And so I encourage you to discipline your body, discipline your mind. Get off of the TV, get off of the iPhone, get off of your computer. Discipline yourself to be focused on these certain tasks throughout your week. It will go a long way. I promise you it will. So another thing that I would really love to do this year is to take some sort of trip with my family over our vacation week. Instead of going camping this year for a vacation week, I would love to take a trip to Washington, D.C. and take my kids to all the Smithsonian museums and things like that. I've been several times when I was a kid. I would love to take my kids. That's pretty expensive, though. That's why we camp, is because camping's cheap and it's relaxing. And so that's something that I'm thinking about. I need to talk to my wife about this, and see what she wants to do. It's a long drive to Washington, D.C. for us from Michigan. We do have relatives on the way, and there's some things that we would love to see on the way, but it might take more than a week if we do that. So I can't take more than a week. So it just depends. You guys know that I'm big on vacation. As a solo operator, you can take a vacation, and you do need to. It's super important for your mental health, for your physical health, for your family health, to take a vacation in the middle of the summer when it's hot, lawns are burned out. Take that vacation. There's nothing that should be standing in your way. Your clients will understand as long as you have had good communication with them, as long as you're doing the work and you're doing an excellent job. They should not have a single issue with you taking a week off. It's 1 week and it's just grass. It's not like things are going to completely fall apart in your client's life if you take a week off. Okay, so it is super important. I really encourage you guys to take that vacation. It is so vitally important. And so, guys, I'm going to end this video and this podcast right here. I think this is a good place to stop. I know this wasn't the exciting episode that that people want to have, that motivating episode to start the new year. But you know what? This is what I'm looking forward to. I'm not looking for motivation this year. I already feel kind of motivated, but what I'm trying to do instead of motivation is build discipline. Because like I said before, motivation just, it can be gone in an instant. You can be unmotivated just as well as you can be motivated. You can hear a great speech and be motivated. 5 minutes later, you're going to be demotivated because things are hard. You need to be disciplined. Discipline is where it's at. It's not motivation. All right? That's why I don't like self-help books, because self-help books, they give you motivation, but they don't have discipline. And so it's like a flash in a pan. The self-help stuff is. So I really encourage you guys to work on discipline. Disciplining your body, disciplining your mind, and really honing in on that discipline piece this year. That's what I'm trying to do this year. That's my number one goal, is to be disciplined this year. So with that, guys, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget about that 12-month contract. It is available at mowinginthedarkpodcast.com. I really encourage you to check it out. It's only $5.99. It is worth every single penny, because once you buy it, you have it for life. It's completely editable. You can change anything you want on this contract. So in my opinion, there's not much you could do better than that. So it's got really good terms and conditions already built in, but you can change those if you want. It's up to you. And if you need more ideas to build your own 12-month contract, you could purchase this, see what I've done, take some ideas from it. It's only $5.99, $6. It's not a whole lot of money, and you have this thing for life. So I really would encourage you to check it out at mowinginthedarkpodcast.com. All right, guys, thanks for listening, and I will see you in the next episode.